Hello guys, and welcome back to Wemade Fox versus Hwaseung. When we last left off last night, Hwaseung had pulled up 2-0, or 2-1 over Wemade Fox, Jidong being the only win Wemade Fox has had so far. Is that right? Anyway, this is going to be Midas versus Perfectman, and gotta give this one to Midas. I suspect at the end of this we're going to have a 2-2 and going into an ace match. Perfectman is, well, not perfect. Perfectman has some very major issues with his play. He's actually sub 50% in all three of his matchups. Versus Terran is his best one, where he's at like 41% or something, but still, I mean, he's certainly not perfect. He is fairly lacking in my opinion. We do have Perfectman spawning in the red in the lower right, and Midas is in the yellow at the upper right. So they are not quite cross position. If one of them wanted to rush, then they're in a position where they might be able to do that. This is on Judgment Day, by the way. The map, the first time I cast it, I didn't know what it was. I'm like, I don't know what this map is. But now, there's, you know, like I said, there's not very many, and I guess it's the desert tile set. So I've managed to figure out. When I saw it again, I was like, hey, this is Judgment Day. I remember it. So, thinking purposes, we are at 111, 12, and 13. This looks to be a hopefully fairly interesting game. Like I said, I really don't think Perfectman can stack up, but hey, he might surprise me. Midas is a decent player, but he certainly, you know, he's not perfect. That's a little bit of a joke there that was not intentional. Looks like neither one of them is really going for a fast expand, although Midas is getting some fairly early gas in my opinion. Don't usually see that geyser go up until maybe he's worried about a probe coming up and messing him up, which there goes the probe now, it looks like. So, Perfectman, okay, yeah, Perfectman is going for a faster expansion, it looks like. I thought that probe was scouting, but it looks like he is not. And I'm going to distance mine until that Nexus comes up. If that may work out, I don't know. We'll have to see. If, you know, he may have to turn that probe around right whenever the Nexus shows up, but okay, no, he's going to make his gateway, so yeah, it does look like Perfectman's going to get an expansion before he gets very many troops out, so if Midas wants to do early pressure, he may be successful at that, but honestly, I don't see it coming. Midas hasn't seen the scout out yet, and so if he was going for early pressure, he would be very interested to know where Perfectman was. And he really doesn't seem to care. Looks like double gateway off of 2 base, so Perfectman's going to be in a position to put some troops out here pretty quickly if he wants to. He's going to have better economy than Midas here in, about 3 minutes or so. And, okay, it does look like Midas is now starting to send out his scout. It looks like both Midas and Perfectman are scouting in the wrong direction. They both want the right side of the map for themselves, and so they're both hoping that their opponent is not there. It looks like Midas stopped scouting. Perfectman is going for the full scout, but Midas is just pushing his troops out into that little choke point. Not going to be able to stop the probe whenever the probe gets there, although now that we have a second Marine, he might. It's a little unusual. I don't usually we see, you know, maybe one. I don't usually see 2 Marines, although it's not unheard of. If I see a 3rd Marine out here, that's going to be pretty significant. 3 Marines when you're going as Protoss, because Protoss, you know, almost all Terrans do factory. And yet, there's the 3rd Marine. So, we might actually see something here. He still has made no move towards an expansion, and he's getting quite a few Marines down. So there may be some early pressure coming out. And yep, there goes the scout, and looks like I was wrong. Midas is proving me incorrect. He's actually scouting in the right direction, so he's going to run to Perfectman here in a second. In fact, he's going to run to Perfecman's Zealots very quickly. Run away! SCV! Don't get yourself killed! And that SCV just took 4 hits from the Zealots. So of course when a Zealot swings, he swings twice. So, good job on Perfectman, you know, spotting that SCV as it came out. Wow, 5 Marines. This is unusual. So he's got, with a little tank backup and with the lack of troops Midas currently has, he may be able to push through here. Although, yeah, there's some Dragoons, and Dragoons are going to ruin his lunch. So it looks like Midas knows where Perfectman is, but unfortunately all he really knows is that, you know, Perfectman has expansion. He has no idea if he's going for any weird tech or anything, because he did not make it into the main. And here is a, tank push with Marine support. And there goes the SCV, or the probe. Probe is like, no! So, you know, granted, Perfectman really doesn't know a whole lot about, in fact, Perfectman does not know that there's tanks on the way. He may think this is a Marine push because I don't know if he saw that tank. He probably did. That tank was not too far behind. So he may be able to put some pressure on here, although I sort of doubt it. You know, those Marines are not going to have anywhere to micro, and there's no medics backing them up. But he does have 2 tanks and an SCV going down, so if those tanks can set up behind the ridge and the Marines can just sort of act as a wall, he can really punish Midas down here. It really depends. It's going to all come down to micro. You know, that is a good force to stop it. You know, those Dragoons can, you know, shoot over the wall, and the Zealots will just eat Marines alive. You know, Marines are not a good... Okay, they're good. Here comes the Vulture. Did he get a second factory? I hope he did. You know, Vultures and tanks are much stronger than Marines and tanks. I don't know if I agree with his Marine push he's doing right now. But we'll have to see, you know. I could be wrong. It's happened before, guys. So, alright, here comes the pressure. The tanks apparently don't have siege mode. That surprises me. I don't know. I don't see any mines either. So yeah, I do not see this attack being successful. It might. The Zealots are down, but yeah, there goes a tank. The other Dragoons are focusing on the other tank, and here comes another Dragoon. What was he upgrading with the machine shop? He doesn't have siege mode. He doesn't have mines. The Vultures aren't going fast. Was he upgrading Goliath range? I can't imagine him doing that. But who knows? And yeah, it looks like this push is not going to be successful. But on the plus side, he does get the SCV into Perfectman's base, so he does know what Perfectman is doing now, which is, frankly, not much. Perfectman is going for troops. Oh, there's the mine! Okay, there were mines down. I did not see that drop during the fight, and I was very confused, as you guys probably heard. So, Midas, knowing that, you know, his attack really didn't work, does have some mines out. He's forcing Perfectman into his base until that observatory finishes, and in the meantime, he's going to be expanding. So try and, you know, catch up on the economic gain. And that's probably siege mode coming up now. Mines could have been a lot more critical in that fight. I really didn't see them come into a play at all. That may have been because Perfectman was pushing back on a regular basis, and so Midas just couldn't bring them in. And actually, Perfectman's going for a lot of pretty Dragoon heavy right here, which, if Midas answers with a lot of tanks, those Dragoons are going to get squished. Dragoons like to bunch up when they're ranged, and you don't want to bunch up against a tank. But we do have a shuttle out, and there's a robotics facility up, so we could have a Reaver drop here pretty soon. And Midas is not very well equipped to push back a Reaver drop. Midas does not have any turrets up. You know, most of his troops were down, and there's an observer in the base, which is showing them. Or no, there's not an observer in the base. That's Perfectman's base. There's an observer heading up right now in order to find just how vulnerable Midas is right now. So Midas is putting a lot of troops at his choke, but that shuttle will go right over. So that's going to be not good, guys. That's going to make things bad for Midas, and we may be looking at, you know, if Perfectman can do good harass here, we may be looking at Midas, you know, losing it here, and Hwaseung taking the set. Because remember, Hwaseung is up 2-0, or 2-1. I don't keep wanting to say 2-0. 2-1 right now. And if they go down, if Perfectman can take Midas out here, then they've just won. There will be no ace match, and I will be sad. So there comes the Reaver. Reaver was making Scarabs right before he got in the shuttle, so on his way over, he'll be generating some Scarabs. I never quite fully understood that. You know, you have a Reaver that can make these little things that kill the ones, but you have to pay for them. Like, it's the only you do in the game like that. You have to, like, pay for their armament. I guess it's all part of the balance. I've just never quite understood that. StarCraft 2 takes that out. The interceptors still have to be made, but even a carrier comes with some interceptors. There's a lot of, you know, Protoss units that it looks like they just sort of skimped on. And there is the Reaver. Gets look like about 3 SCV kills, and that Scarab's going to do absolutely nothing. Nope, no bueno, Mr. Scarab. So, and there comes the exchange. Come on, take him out. You can do it. Boom. Ooh, it looks like another 4 or so. I didn't see how many kills I had before I got back to the shuttle, but I'm guessing it has about 7. So, yeah, there's just a little, like, reverse conga line, and there's a lot of damage going out. Midas is getting down turrets now, so that is going to hurt the harass in the future. That was effective harassment. He didn't lose anything, and he took out a lot of probes. But it wasn't the game breaker like I thought it might be. You know, I've seen people with shuttles just run around the whole base for, it seemed like 20 minutes before they finally got pushed out, and by that point, the other guy was just dead. So it looks like Perfectman is going for another base at the 6 o'clock. He's going to be able to, you know, push his economic advantage even further. And here he comes again. This is not going to be so successful though, because there's a siege tank right there. Siege tank is just waiting for that Reaver to come down. So, hey, Midas, I didn't realize that was actually a base. I thought that was just units. So it looks like Midas has 3 bases, and Perfectman may have 4. I'm not really sure. That base that's right at the choke, it looks like they do have it. So Perfect Man start working on a 4th base. Not realize that initially. And don't drop the Reaver there. Don't do it. Man, that Siege Tank was just waiting. Siege Tank like, come on. Reaver versus Siege Tank. Siege Tank wins. At least when he's in Siege mode. Or even when he's not. If you're Boxer, you don't have to have a tank in Siege mode. Boxer can win either way. There is the Pylon coming in on the 4th base. And whoa, there, yep, he's macroing up now. He's got 4 bases. He's got 2 starports. And he's just now getting a Forge. That's interesting. So apparently he is going to upgrade his Dragoons some, but I'm surprised I didn't see that Forge earlier. I figured whenever he started making the starports, he was actually going to go for carriers. We'll just have to see now, won't we? And yep, there's that. The Dragoons are trying to put some pressure on the engineering bay, but decided to pull back. They know there's a siege tank in close proximity. They just wanted to kind of distract Midas a little bit. That's whenever someone's doing something and they get attacked, they have to always go look and see what's attacking them. And there's the Arbiter Tribunal, so it looks like he's not going for carriers.